evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Thursday, August 25, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Insurance Association wants to set up consortium for oil and gas sector. Some 9,000 parents did not uplift 30,000 because we care cash grants and uniform vouchers. Government MULLS establishment of aluminum plant by 2025. Illegal to tint windshields even with permit, traffic chief warns, and monkeypox vaccines to be reserved for high-risk exposed patients. Now for the news in detail. In order to reap the full benefits of the local oil and gas industry, the Insurance Association of Guyana is looking to pool the resources of its members to form a consortium to service the petroleum sector. Here is Vanu Manikchan with our lead story tonight.
Senior members of the Insurance Association of Guyana met with Governor of the Bank of Guyana, Dr. Gobind Ganga, on Thursday to discuss the setting up of an insurance consortium to service the oil and gas sector. Dr. Ganga told this newscast that the association is proposing to pool resources to establish the company. During the meeting, preliminary discussions were held on how the association is going to go about setting up the consortium in a fair and efficient way. The central bank governor has since asked the IAG to submit a detailed proposal on this, including who will participate in the venture and how they intend to go about gathering and pooling their resources. Representing the Insurance Association during the meeting were President Melissa DeSantos and executive members Roger Yee and Bishwa Pandey, among others. The Bank of Guyana is the regulator of the insurance sector and administers the Insurance Act. The Evening News understands that the Insurance Association is looking to adopt a model similar to the one used by the Ghana Oil and Gas Insurance Pool. This is to build capacity to fully take advantage of the benefits of the local oil and gas sector. The recently passed Local Content Act outlines 40 different services that oil and gas companies and their subcontractors must procure from Guyanese-owned companies by the end of this year, including 100% local insurance services. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchan.
With distribution of the second phase of the $30,000 Because We Care cash grant and uniform vouchers now completed, it has been revealed that a significant amount of 9,000 parents did not show up to collect the monies. Shane Marks tells us more.
Earlier this month, the Ministry of Education commenced the distribution of the Because We Care cash grant and uniform allowance at various schools across the country. The grant has been increased this year to $25,000, while the school uniform and supplies voucher increased from $4,000 to $5,000, taking the total to $30,000. The initiative targets both public and private school students. Some 194,000 were expected to benefit. At the conclusion of the distribution exercise, it was observed that some 11,000 parents did not uplift their grants, and as such, a second distribution initiative was held. Upon the completion of that exercise, it was observed that still a large number of parents did not show up to collect their grants.
So we had just under 11,000 parents who our record said were entitled, well, children that our record said would have been entitled, that we wanted to serve on day 2, on the second occasion. And unfortunately, the numbers that turned out were very, very low, which made officers question, not me, I am clear on what I want, whether it was even worth their time turning up for persons for the second opportunity. For me, if it was one person that picked up in any region, it was enough. We needed to turn up because for that person it would have meant a lot. So in most of the regions we saw under 20% of those who would have been entitled receiving the grant.
Education Minister Priya Manikchan providing an update on the situation during an interview with reporters on Wednesday. She nevertheless acknowledged that the government cannot force persons to uplift the grants.
The government's job is to provide the funding for this grant and to make it accessible as many times as we can, but we can't force people to take it. And so I think you probably will have just about 9,000 parents whose children would have been entitled that did not receive. But we'll release those figures shortly.
In 2021, the government disbursed a total of $3.3 billion in Because We Care cash grants to public school students countrywide. The cash grants were also extended to students attending private schools, where each child received $19,000, amounting to a total of $284.8 million. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
With Guyana's bauxite reserves being estimated at close to US $1 billion, and with the government's concerted drive to bring down energy costs, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Office for Investment, GOVT, says the possibility of an aluminum plant being established in Guyana by 2025 is being looked at. Here are the details from Rupa Sinarine.
While participating in a China-Guyana Investment Opportunity Seminar, GoInvest CEO Peter Ramsarup said an aluminum plant would utilize Guyana's rich bauxite resources and create value-added products.
We believe in the near future, we should be looking at big projects such as a glass factory. We've got some of the best bauxite finds. We are looking at aluminum plant over the next 2 to 3 years as we build out the deepwater port, which will now attract the larger Panamax ships into Guyana.
According to Dr. Ramsarup, Guyana's manufacturing sector is likely to get a shot in the arm when the multitude of projects, including the Gas-to-Shore project and the Amila Falls hydropower project, comes online.
Guyana energy cost is due to come down by 50% in 2025. And with those projects, including the hydro project, wind project, solar projects, the gas-to-shore pipeline, all national projects that are available in the response of RFE phases, brings about where the opportunities in the other sectors where companies need to be looking at how to partner between local companies and the Chinese companies.
There was once a functional aluminum plant in Mackenzie, Linden that ended up being closed in the 1980s. Previously, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat had indicated that investors were eyeing Tarakuli bauxite deposit near Oriala in Region 6. He had stated that it was one of the largest bauxite deposits remaining in Guyana, that it's of high quality and untouched. This, he had said, was another reason for the country to establish an aluminum plant. In May of this year, and with Guyana looking to enhance partnerships with its South American neighbors in order to promote sustainable development, President Dr. Irfan Ali held talks with Brazil on offering help with further development of the bauxite industry here, especially given its importance to the clean energy agenda that the two countries are pursuing.
Drivers are being warned that it is illegal to tint the windshields of their vehicles, even if they are in possession of a permit to tint. Find out more in this Amar Prasad report.
During a recent episode of the Police and New program, new traffic chief, Superintendent Dennis Stevens, explained that officers often have an issue with the percentage of tint that is placed on vehicles, even those with the requisite permits. The traffic chief further lamented that there are persons who are also violating the laws by putting tint on their vehicles, even though they are aware that they have to seek permission to do so.
What we find are also not only persons put on tint, we also observe persons are tinting their front windscreen, and that is very dangerous, especially at night, and especially when it is raining. It may have some issues with the person's sight. The tint must not be so dark on the vehicle that it renders the police officer is observation as to the identifying the occupants also driving the vehicle. The law also indicates that for tint is that 65% visible of light penetration on the glass, and that would render it transparent so persons can be able to identify.
For those persons who refuse to adhere to the warnings of the police force on tints, Stevens said they have recently launched a campaign that will deal with those drivers. He also warned that even for those persons who have permit for tints, it is illegal to tint the front windshield.
There's a lot of misinterpretation of the tint permits as relates to what it is contained. The document that was given to persons who are having the tint exemption, it will indicate by the minister that persons, the law specifies 65%, but they are given a waiver. Therefore, they could be able to put on the tint that is able to workable for them. So you have to, so it will probably be dark, but a waiver what is given by the minister, and that's it. The traffic ranks would not elaborate or engage as long as the permit is issued.
And they have that is enforced.
Yes, it's enforced. The document is skated there, and the persons are free to put on the tint except the front windscreen.
For the evening news, I'm Mark Prasad.
A $64.9 million contract has been awarded for the rehabilitation and upgrade of the intersection linking Vlissingen Road and Lamaha Street following the deterioration of a section of the roadway. Minister of Public Works Juan Edgil has said works will commence there on Saturday. The works are expected to be completed within 4 months and will be executed by DevCon Construction and Contracting Services. Kester Hines, Manager of Traffic Safety Maintenance at the Ministry of Public Works, explained that a concrete revetment would be built to retain the existing road. The thoroughfare would also be widened to facilitate a left-turning lane at the intersection, and the pedestrian walkway would be affixed to the revetment. Alliance for Change Executive Member Beverly Alert is among candidates being considered to replace Raphael Trotman in the National Assembly. The AFC announced on Wednesday that Trotman would be resigning as a Member of Parliament next week to allow for rotation and space for new leadership training. A party source confirmed to this newscast today that Alert is the preferred choice of the candidates under consideration. However, the source indicated that the AFC committee would be meeting soon and a decision is likely to be made then. Parliament is currently in recess and is expected to resume sitting in early October, by which time the AFC is expected to have a new candidate selected to be sworn in. Alert has been a long-standing member of the AFC. Under the previous APNU AFC administration, she served as head of the Department of Public Information, as well as advisor to the Minister of Natural Resources. She was also named as a potential candidate for the membership of the new Public Procurement Commission earlier this year, but did not make the shortlisted 5 names. Coming up, Visit Rupununi partners with NGO to target LGBTQ plus tourists, and over 200 house lots distributed to lowland East Coast Demerara residents. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Enjoy the thrill of internet shopping with Airpost. Simply log on to www.airpost.com. Sign up, shop online, and we'll deliver right into your hands. Airpost has partnered with all the major online stores to give you an unlimited range of shopping options straight from our website. And our 24-hour online service will walk you through any challenges. It's simple, it's fast, and it's fun. You don't need a credit card to shop. Visit any of our offices or call our attendants. We'll help you through the process. Airpost. You shop, we ship, we deliver.
We asked 2 families, which antibacterial soap do you buy?
Any. They're all the same.
I always buy Protex.
And why is that?
Because Protex reinvented antibacterial soaps. Its formula is fortified with flaxseed oil to boost your skin's natural antibacterial defenses.
And it keeps on working throughout the day.
Wow. Can I have a Protex?
Naturally.
Protex, for the good health of the skin.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
It happens? Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the two most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
American-made Generac pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store gives you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime. Providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business. From 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the Generac pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Only persons who have been exposed to monkeypox or others deemed high risk would receive the vaccines which have been sourced to supply the Health Ministry's monitoring of this new epidemic. Rupa Sinarain reports.
This month, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued an emergency use authorization for the JYNNEOS vaccine for individuals 18 years and older who are determined to be at high risk for monkeypox. Guyana has initiated efforts to source this MVA vaccine for monkeypox. However, given that there is only one manufacturer in the UK, this order is being facilitated through the Pan American Health Organization. It is expected that the shots will arrive in September.
They have taken orders from all the countries in Latin America and pooled the orders together. So we are going to the manufacturer with a common order for the Americas. By doing so, we have a large amounts of vaccine, and that order has been placed, and we are expecting those vaccines to come in by the end of September.
Once it arrives, the Health Ministry will be using the shots for high-risk or exposed persons within the population. It was also advised that, like with any other vaccine, there are temporary side effects which some persons may experience.
What they have recommended is not to give it as a pre-exposure prophylaxis type of vaccine, meaning that you give it before somebody has been exposed, but rather you do it as a post-exposure vaccine. But it's more protective. The safety profile is extremely good, and it's something that has been recommended, has been used, and has worked to prevent the disease from spreading.
Guyana has only detected one case of monkeypox, which was confirmed on Monday. Since then, those in contact with patient 0 have been quarantined. Rupa Sinarain, the Evening News.
Seeking to expand its tourist demographic to the LGBTQ+ community, both locally and internationally, Visit Rupununi has partnered with the LGBTQ+ Coalition by signing a Memorandum of Understanding in hope of achieving this goal. Here is Shade Marks with the details.
Visit Rupununi on Monday inked a Memorandum of Understanding between the LGBTQ+ Coalition, comprising Guyana Trans United, the Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination, SASD, and SASD Women's Arm Guyana, SWAG. The joint effort will mobilize resources seeking opportunities for funding and projects related to the purpose of the agreement in order to deepen and develop the partnership between the parties.
As humans, we all seek out destinations that treat us with respect, make us feel safe, make us feel better about ourselves and better about the world around us. With this in mind, we feel it is important that the Rupununi continue to equip itself with the skills and knowledge to appeal to the ever-growing market base and to ensure that all visitors to the Rupununi, regardless of who they are treated with equal respect and consideration. But this is not just about a core belief that human rights are for everyone. This is also good business.
SACID President Joel Simpson highlighted that Visit Rupununi would provide necessary information to LGBTQ+ tourists and direct them to the Guyana LGBTQ+ Coalition and SACID Guyana's travel service as needed.
We've committed to working together to mobilize resources to be able to deepen and develop this partnership. So this first MOU is a start, but we don't see it as being static. We want to also be able to find resources to market the Rupununi as LGBTQ friendly. So now that we've signed this agreement, some of the immediate steps that we're going to take, we are going to reach out to an international LGBTQ travel service called LGBTQ Travel Planet, and to get Visit Rupununi listed there. So when people are searching these databases, searching these international websites for places that are gay friendly in South America and that sort of thing and so on, Visit Rupununi and Guyana will pop up.
In addition, Simpson said that with the agreement, some 15 to 20 trainers at Visit Rupununi will be trained on LGBTQ+ culture.
One of the first practical actions that we're going to take within this fiscal year, within this calendar year, is to work with Visit Rupununi to train a cadre of trainers from Visit Rupununi on LGBTQ issues, gender and sexual diversity in the context of customer service and tourism. So that cadre of 15 to 20 trainers could also do retraining within their own businesses and within their member organizations of Visit Rupununi. And that's one of the very first practical things that we've agreed to undertake, and it's detailed in the MOU.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
During a recent outreach, the Ministry of Housing and Water distributed 250 house lots to families from Newton-Zool to Unity on the east coast of Demerara. Amar Prasad tells us more.
The 250 families have been allocated lands at Hope on the east coast of Demerara. A number of residents of the area attended the recent distribution exercise organized by the Ministry of Housing and Water. Several of them expressed their gratitude for the initiative after being allocated their plot of land. Navindra Prasad stated that he is very happy that he has been allocated a new plot of land as his current residence is prone to flooding.
Real happy, because by time Christmas, we got to get flood again where we live in. 3 flood we get in 1.5 years. And it's very hard.
Ishmati Gaukaran, along with other residents, explained that receiving a house lot means a lot to them as it will reduce some expenses.
Well, I feel very happy, and it means a lot because I've been renting for years and it's hard sometimes.
It means a lot, and I am very, very happy. When I received the call Monday afternoon at Ministry of Housing, and I'm very happy about this. It will help me a lot because I am living with my sister and I have my 2 kids, so that will help me out a lot, and it means a lot to me.
Very much great, because I've been waiting since 2012, and when I get a call on Monday to come here today, I was so happy. You know, I used to go in like every month, and even though going, I know I had to wait, and here's my chance now. So I'm very much happy, very, very much happy. And I say thanks to everything that make it possible and everybody that come here to help, you know, the housing ministers, even the media, everybody, you know. Thanks very much.
Meanwhile, during the initiative, Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell stated that the outreach was initiated to address a current issue in the lowland areas of the East Coast, which led to a cluster of applications.
There's a context to the exercise here. It's twofold. One is that we have not had any recent outreach in terms of Ministry of Housing on this part of the Region 4 of East Coast of Demerara. And so the cluster that we're addressing today is between Unity to Newton-Zool. In addition to that, we have an outstanding matter of the lowlands area. Lowlands, the history of lowlands will show that there are persons who were relocated to this proximity. We have persons who have applied in the right way, and they are waiting allocations for years. So we have about 250 house lots available to be allocated within the lowland cluster. So that's the second reason for the exercise that you're having here today. And so this forms part of us addressing outstanding matters across our country, inclusive of Region 4 and East Coast of Demerara.
The minister noted that since being in office, they have distributed just under 4,000 house lots on the east coast of Demerara and is looking to allocate another 3,000 house lots by the end of this year for that area. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
ExxonMobil's local subsidiary Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited has launched a 2-day emergency response training exercise for its staff, something that the company does and plans to do on a regular basis. Here are the details from Gerald Bryan.
The training was done at the Marriott Hotel and saw EEPGL working with the Response Group, a United States company specializing in crisis management. Among the areas that the training will cover is responses to different levels of crisis in EEPGL's offshore activities, such as oil spills. EEPGL Public Information Officer Janelle Passard stressed that while a crisis incident has never happened in Guyana's waters, and Exxon is taking care that it doesn't, training is still necessary.
What we have here is a 2-day exercise for the incident management team. That's a group within ExxonMobil that responds to various types of incidents, and it's triggered depending on the severity of the incident. Thankfully, we've never had to use it, but we like to say here at ExxonMobil that our approach to emergency response is the first being prevention. And so everything that we put in place to ensure that an incident doesn't happen, but in the unlikely sort of chance that it does, we need to be prepared. And as part of that preparation, we practice, and we practice really hard. As you guys saw, all of the members of the incident management team has gone through what we call the Incident Command Systems training.
She explained that several similar training sessions were done during this year and another major training exercise will be done by this year end. According to Passard, EEPGL's incident management team has the regional response team to back them up.
So the regional response team, it varies depending on the role. So we have folks who are environment related, you have folks who, just different types of engineers, safety focused, medical professionals, media and communication professionals, logistics. So it's sort of like everyone. Of course, when it comes to an ExxonMobil response to an event, those are very different. And I know oil spills is one of those that people talk about as a thing that people are concerned about. And so for that, you will have access to equipment that can come into the country within hours and that type of thing. But the regional response team, what we're doing is just testing the human resource capability to respond more than the actual physical exercise.
The training currently being done at the Marriott Hotel is expected to last for 2 days. Wednesday's session dealt with gas leaks and fires. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, August 26 at 2:30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, August 26 at 16:35 for a period of 1.5 hours.
ExxonMobil throws support behind GAW men's and women's teams, and Warriors off to winning start in the 60. Details of these stories and more in this podcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Try our virtual sports and win big with so much matches to choose from. Betting starts at $100. Play for your chance to win. Log on to www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents to place your bets. Terms and conditions apply. Have fun and play responsibly. Must be 18 and over to play.
John Lewis Styles proudly introduces Everest Bags, a complete and affordable line especially suited for back to school. Lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, pulley backpacks from $10,995. Also available are messenger bags, computer bags, waist pouches, duffel bags, gym bags, and even camping bags, all for the same price or less than buying online. And it's already here on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.